That is my own, it's not your own. Can you record now?
Yes.
All right, so we just spend the next 5 minutes to just run through some of the things we did in our last class because this is the last class on PowerPoint. In PowerPoint, what you are expected to learn is how to start from what is presentation, what is PowerPoint, where can we apply PowerPoint. All of these we have discussed them. So those that PowerPoint is an office application software which is mainly used for creating and managing presentations. So I took my time to explain or to expatiate what presentation this content will be. And I told us that presentation in PowerPoint, they are slideshow content. In other words, content with moving objects across slide. So we'll also talk about various sector, or let me refer to them as application or PowerPoint.
Sorry, Mr. Prosper. I was like trying to save this video. It doesn't mean there is no way I can save this video to buy this thing.
So like I was saying, I explained to us the application of PowerPoint. I said PowerPoint is used for doing so many things. You can use it to present lectures, just like I'm doing now. You can use it to screen contents. Then you can use it for marketing, where you want to go out to talk about your brand. You can use PowerPoint to prepare your content across different slides, and so on and so forth. So there are so many areas you can use PowerPoint. Now, we discuss how we can start with the PowerPoint. That is, we discuss the various methods using the icon method on your, your system user interface, or going through the start button, which is known to be the standard way of accessing PowerPoint once it has been installed in your local system. Now, we also talk about how to create presentations. How to create presentation. Talk about how to animate, that is how to add certain effects that could make any of those static objects to have some motion effects. So we did all that. And then the last topic is, after you have created your presentation, you are expected to schedule how it's going to be presented. And that is what is taking us to slideshow. So everything we want to discuss in this section are wrapped in slideshow. That is expected to be the last aspect of PowerPoint. Now, but before then, remember I said the content you can actually publish in PowerPoint varies. You can publish or you can create video content, you can create audio content, you can create graphics content, you can as well create text content in your PowerPoint slide. So just to explain, I want to quickly prepare a simple presentation, and then I will use it to explain all these things that happen to be the last aspects of PowerPoint. So let's say I want to bring in a video here. So what I'm going to do is to go back to insert. So from insert, then you see this icon here, which says what? Insert video. That is the only content we have not added so far. So supposing you have your advert video, you want to embed it in that your presentation, those slides. So there's a place where if somebody is going through the presentation, you get to a slide where you uploaded video, the video will be talking. So let's assume that you must have recorded and stored the video somewhere in your system in a supporting format that PowerPoint can decode. So I'll go to this PC. I'll just want to upload one of my lecture picture just to show you how to do it. So let's assume that I want to bring in this video here. So I will just click and then select what? Insert. I'll wait for it to come up. So you can see if I play it here, so you can see automatically in PowerPoint, I have added a video. So that is to tell you that it is not only shape, only text can be created in your slide. You can as well add what? A video content. Then the same thing if you want to add uh, audio content, maybe just a recorded voice, you can as well do that by coming to this place as well. Now, you can also directly record your voice on your content. So supposing we have, let's say we have under inserts, I just want to create a shape. Just want to create shape. So let's assume that this is your design and you want to say something about it instead of you bringing a recorded video or audio. So if you go to that same insert and you can see what screen what record. You can see screen record. So the idea is that you're supposed to have gone to what's it called, studio to record your voice. So as you bring this object, you will now attach the audio to it. So when this object is displaying, the recorded voice will be also playing. Now, I want to do the recording directly from here. So I select the item, then I click on add screen record. Once I click, you will see that it has opened up. I don't know if you can still see my screen.
Yes, yes, I'm seeing it.
Okay, so it has opened up a recording channel. So if I click here now, I'll say record. This is audio. Then this is to select area. Now you can decide to say you want to record this area only. So whatever you are saying is only affected to this selected area. Now make sure that your audio is on. And then once I click on, you can see that your recording button is now what? On. So once I click on the button, you can see that it's about to start the recording. So I can just start. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to my class. Then once you are done with that, if you want to check the record, you can play it. So let's see. Trying to see if I can play it and get the sound. Okay, so okay, so it's still recording. We have to stop it. Still recording. Still recording. So we have to pause. And then so you can see how it capture only that particular section. So if you want to play it now,
Start the recording.
so
I
you
can
can
just
see it now.
start. Hello,
That's what you are hearing
how are
now.
you doing? Welcome to my class. Then once you are done with that,
So that is how to attach your voice on your content directly from PowerPoint instead of you recording it from the external source and bringing it in. So that is just to explain that outside text and pictures, you can also add video content, audio content, and even go by recording directly on your content. So now let's quickly run through the remaining aspects of PowerPoint. So I will just quickly prepare. Let me work with this slide to make my work faster. So I will just duplicate it. So let me just duplicate this. So what do we mean by, so we are looking at slideshow. That is the topic, slideshow, slideshow. Now, slideshow is actually used to determine or to program your slide contents. It says slideshow is used to determine the behavior, let's add that word, the behavior of your slide content. How do you want them to be presented to the audience? So you do all that.
Behavior of what?
The behavior of your slide content. The behavior of your slide content. So that is a close-up definition of what we achieve with the slideshow. So which means that you must have created, animated your presentation before you come to slideshow. Is the final operation, final thing you do. So you take time to put your presentation content together. You take time to animate the ones that need animation. And then finally, you will then, specify the behavior. So this is just like, this is the content you want to televise. You want to probably take it to a radio station or television station to run it as an advert. So you may want them not to run the entire advert at once. You may create different slides. You may customize different slides for different days. So that is why knowing the whole of these coordinating features matters. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is from beginning. So what do we do with this from beginning command? So from beginning allow you to display all your slide to the audience from the very first word slide till the end. Remember I said the whole of this control the behavior of your what slide content. So if you are choosing this, you are simply saying that show them everything. That is what you are saying. So that is when you are to use this option. Now, there is another one that says from current slide. From current slide, which means you are not interested in showing them everything. You have a particular slide, for example, from slide 3 downward, which means that slide 1 and 2 will be exempted. So that is when you use what? From current word slide. So you see that you start from that slide. Now, the next one is custom slide show. This one is very important. This one is very important, custom slideshow. So the custom slideshow allow you to select 2 or more slides, allow you to select 2 or more slides and assemble them as a separate show. And assemble them as a separate show. And assemble them as a separate what show. Okay, so for example, I don't want them to see everything. So maybe on Monday, I want them to show the audience slide 1 and slide 3. Though I've created all the slide here. Then on Tuesday, you want them to show the audience 4, and 1. So you can create different show from this slide you have programmed. So that is when you use custom. So once you click here, it will drop out any content you have customized. But in this case, we have not customized any. That is why it's showing us what? Custom show. So I'll click on this custom show and then select new. Then that new will now bring out the list of all the slide. If you have created 1 million slide, all of them will be listed here. All of them will be listed here. Now the idea is that you can give it a name. So let's say this one is Monday. So in other words, you want them to display this one on Monday. Let's say you are giving it out to run a television advert. Now, I'll pick on Monday, I'll pick this and add it here. So that is what I'm doing now. Then on Monday, I want them to show them slide 1 and what? Slide 4. So what you are seeing here is that this is telling you that in the original schedule, this one is number 1. In the original schedule, this one is number 4. But it has rearranged them here. Now I'll click OK. So you can see that it has added what? Monday here as a slideshow. So which means that if I close here now, next time I come here, you see the Monday here. So if I click here, only those 2 slides that will display. Only those 2 slides. That is what, because you have made them as a separate what? Show. So when you are creating your content, you can create all the slide in one place. Then you now begin to customize, pick the ones you want to display separately from the rest. Did you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So that is for the custom. So I can go back for the final time and then go back there and say, okay, I'm creating a new slideshow. So let's say this one is Tuesday. Tuesday, I want them to access slide 3 and I want them to access what? Slide 2 as a show. So if I come here next time, you see all the ones you have customized will be programmed here. So if you select anyone you want to play per time, you can always navigate. Okay, even in radios, in television station, that is what they do. When people give them content to advertise or to display, they will program it if it exceeds one day. Okay, on Monday, people should broadcast this. On Tuesday, broadcast it. So they will customize the show just like we are doing. All right, so that is for this. Now we have set up slideshow. Set up slideshow. Now, set up slideshow is also an important feature that control the behavior of your slide content. So this one allow you to, this is where you have a bunch of controlling features for defining the behavior of your slide content mostly. Now, like here, you can see that the whole of these setup functions are grouped. We have show type, we have show option, and then we have show slide, and then we have advanced slide. So let me just walk us through them so that you know what to do here. Let me start from show type. So under show type, you have presented by a speaker full screen. You know, there are some movies you watch, the picture will just be at the middle. You see a kind of blank background at the top, another one at the bottom. The image will just be at the middle. That is a presentation display screen setting. So when you say full, if I select this option and I click OK, and then you run it, you will see that it will display full. Display full. So I want you to take note of this. Now I am going back there to look at what browsed by an individual window. Browse by an individual window. So if I click here now and I select OK and I save, so if I run it from the beginning, can you see the difference? The difference is that as we are displaying with this, it's showing us this bar that says PowerPoint slideshow. The other one was not showing any part of PowerPoint. It was showing the full screen without anybody knowing that you are presenting with what? PowerPoint. Okay, so let me take it off and go back to the setting, take it back to this so that we can re-observe it. So if I do the same thing, you see it now. There's no part of what? PowerPoint showing anywhere on the screen. So that is the power of your show type. So we have browse at kiosk. This one is full, but the difference is that you will not be allowed to stop it. Like now, let's say I'm displaying and I'm right-clicking now. I want to terminate. I want to go back to my presentation. I'm not allowed the end show. The end show is not coming out, which means that if you present with this view, you will not be able to interrupt it in between. So you will just have to wait until the whole slide completes the display. So now that is what this one does. Now I want to take it back here and then try that same thing that was not possible. Now you see the possibility. So if I right click, you see that it brought out what? End show. But when I was displaying with that other option, I was right clicking, it wasn't bringing out this, which means that I cannot stop it. I just have to allow it to complete. So there are scenarios that will require that when you are presenting to the audience. So you may just want your slide to continue. You don't want to pause it in between. So all these setups have their own application depending on your presentation mode. Now, show option. Show option. This one is also very important. Show option. So let me deliberately change some of these pictures so that if we are changing, let's know that we are changing different content. Let me just bring let me just to differentiate them so that when we move from one, we know that we have moved from one slide or the other. Okay, so now let's go back to the animation slideshow. So we are still here. Sorry, we are here. Now, this loop continuously. The work of this is that you want to set your presentation in a way that once the first slide ends and stop displaying, you should go to the next one, that is slide 2. You should go to slide 3. You should go to slide 4. Then instead of it stopping, it will start all over from 1 again. So it will be looping continuously. Once you get to the end of your slide, it will start all over. That is when you program this. So it will not stop until you press escape button on your keyboard. So I can just click on what? Okay. Now, so let's all check it now. So if I select from beginning, you see that if we have added some effects, we will have been noticing them because there are no effects. That is why. All right, so that is for this one here. Then now we have this one that says show without narration. Show without narration. So show without narration is, narration could be any of those sounds, like when we did that recording. So if you have added those kind of effects on your presentation, let's say you designed a presentation and you added a lot of speech, or you add a lot of speech or voice. Now you can turn them off directly from here. Instead of you going back to each of the slides to start turning off those effects, You can say, I don't want any narration. That's what, no voice to be heard. Then you have show without animation. If you have added effects, for example, if I add effects here under animation, let's say I come here and I select this. This is animation. Now, for one reason or the other, I can come here and say, under my setup, I don't want what animation. So once I stop it now, if I show
Can't
it
work on
again
that
now,
again.
you see that what is no longer what playing, no animation. That effect has automatically what it stopped. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so that is automatic way because it could be very difficult or stressful after you have animated 1 million or thousands of slides, and somebody just come back and say, or the client, that please, I don't want the animation again. Instead of you going back one after the other and removing them, you can just come to the setting and say what? Show without animation. That turns them off. If I remove it now, you'll be playing. Then disable hardware graphics acceleration. This one is additional device hardware that is usually connected to system for like all these broadcasting and television station to enhance the graphic display of their computer. So we don't have it because if you click on it now, tell you that what you don't have the component connected to it. So it is a hardware that needs to be purchased and connect to your system in order to improve the graphics capability of your system. Then you have pen color. So these are like default color that will be mixed up with whatever color you must have used. And then this one is for printing. Then we have show slide. Show slide. This is another place where you can control how you want the slide to be presented, just like we are customizing. You can say, okay, show from 1 to maybe number 3. So if you click on OK now, it means I have said that it will not display what? Slide 4. It will only start from 1 and stop at 3. That is what you are saying. Then, or you can decide to say that, no, you have already custom the show. So it should show this one only. So you can work or program it on any of the customized show, or you depend on what? All. So these are options. Now, lastly, we have advanced slide. Now, if you want, remember that when we were programming the slide, we said after some second, that place you call when you were asking after some second. So if you say manual, it means that everything will be displayed until you what? You click. So nothing will display automatically. But we have already programmed it or what? Using timing. So that timing is that after 2 seconds before it's advanced to the next slide. Then this one is called multiple monitor. So all these television news broadcasters, they have multiple monitor that is monitoring what they are presenting. Your own monitor, your own television that you are using to watch them is one of the monitor. Why they are on is another monitor. That is where we have automatic and what? Primary monitor. So you can leave this one there, and then you can
Oh,
decide to
excuse me.
okay.
Excuse me. Okay, you're not good.
Okay, so that is all about it. So I was talking about using presenter view. This one is when you want to use as in the person broadcasting to you. He wants to also want to activate his own that he can be seeing himself while he's presenting to you. So all these things sometimes they are only useful in television station, advanced domain where they want to use PowerPoint, not for uh, an individual usage. So that is all about what you can do under setup. So
Setup.
remember,
Okay.
I said all the things we are doing here, particularly this one, they specify the behavior of what your slide
The
content.
content.
You saw how we were able to say the whole slide should be playing continuously. You saw how we were able to control should turn off what? All the what? The narration. You saw how we're able to stop the animation. So which means that truly all these functions are for governing the slide content. Now let's go to hide slide. So you should know how to hide slide because there are times you will deliberately want to hide a particular slide. So I will just cite one scenario. The scenario is this. Supposing you are given the whole of this slide content to display. And for one reason, they said only this one out of all should not be displayed. So instead of you going through customization, you can just select only that one and say what? You hide it. So you can see that it has turned it off. So you can still play from what? From beginning, but it will what?
We'll jump to
Exempt
number
that
2.
very one. So that is, you can select many of them as possible that you don't want to display at the moment and allow other ones to display. So how do you undo it? You click on it, you click on the hide. You click on it, click on the hide. That is how you remove it. Is that clear?
Yes.
So the next one is rehearse timing. Rehearse timing. So what can we do with the rehearse timing? The rehearse timing is very important as well. It's raining over here. I don't know if you can hear the.
Yes, it's even disturbing by this thing here.
So rehearse timing is used to know how long will your presentation take, because sometimes when you want to go and speak in an event, you might be given 10 minutes and you are preparing slides. So you don't know how long the slide presentation will take you. So you can just on your own, let's say, okay, I want to rehearse how long it's going to take to display from slide 1 to what? Slide 4. So you can just rehearse the timing. So you can see that what? Adibin, everything is programmed to be displayed like your own presentation now. By now, it will have entered slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, based on the delay and the speed set. So once you get to this last slide, you take note of what? The time here. You write it down. So that will tell you whether your presentation is what? 5 minutes what? Presentation or 10 minutes presentation. Did you understand that? That is what it does. Then this is that recording. This is that recording that we got through inserts the other time when I was showing you how to add video and what audio content. So I can come here and say, okay, and record slide. Once you click on slide and animation timing, you say start recording now. You can see that what, as I'm talking, it's recording. Whatever I'm doing, this is another way you can record. If I'm talking, it's recording it. Recording it. So you can stop it. You can stop the recording. That is for that. Now, all these are used to program what happens here. For example, now play narration. Remember that what we also have that effect under what setup, play narration. You also have a use timing. So this very use timing is actually used to coordinate. If you don't activate this will not work. You want to rehearse it. So these are more or less of setting that will make some of these things to work. Show media control. Show media control. Show media control is what activates all those play, stop, next. That is media control. Play. Are you still with me?
Yes.
So when you have play, stop, next, those things, those icons are called media control. So if you don't turn this on when you are playing it, it will not show you the media control. Then of course, we just talk about a monitor automatic and use a presenter view from this. So this is just like repetition of this. So that is all about your slideshow as a place where you have all the command for determining the behavior of your presentation content. And that brings us to the end of PowerPoint. Any question?
Mm.
This morning,
Okay.
you have to go and demonstrate all this. particularly this. So I want you to carve out 3 to 4 different shows from that particular presentation, and then try and play with all this because you might need them depending on the situation. So which means that we are done with office program. Our next meeting, we will start with introduction to CorelDRAW. But do you have CorelDRAW installed in your system already?
Yes, I think, but I will check if there is no. I will
So
install.
any one of them you have CorelDRAw or Photoshop. Please, if you don't have, try and see if you can get them installed.
I will do just that. But please, Mr. Papa, can you join us in this class?